So the paper 1 includes apartheid and civil rights. Basically all you have to do is you get 4 documents and you gotta answer questions about them. Paper 2 includes authoritarian states and 20th century wars. You write 2 essays this time. For paper 3, the topics are Great Depression, rights and protests, and the Second World War. And in this case, because of the number 3, it's actually 3 wars.
Okay, so for your IB history paper, you should probably know the subjects that are covered in class, including the events taking place in the Americas or in Europe, like the wars or the Great Depression. You should also probably know the names of important trials or acts that contributed to important social or political changes. For example, Plessy versus Ferguson was a trial that contributed to the end of segregated education. It would also be better if you knew the dates that the events took place, like you should know the sequential order. And the grading for the papers are out of 15 points. And if you want to get a better score, you should probably include the historian's perspective. And there's this acronym that we use for the papers. It's called PEAL, or PEARL, Point Evidence Analysis and Link. So in your paper, you need to include analysis. You need to analyze your evidence.
So what is IA? IA is called internal assessment, and basically what it is when you choose a topic that interests you, and you do research on it, and then IA composed of 3 parts. Part 1 is OPCVL, which is it's kind of like the thing that you do for paper 1, which Obeso already discussed. And then the second part is the essay, which you actually like researching and trying to answer your questions. And part 3 is when you have a reflection on it, like how is like the process went and stuff. And what you really get out of IA is that you truly get to experience what you want to learn out of a history class that if you didn't have a chance to. So for example, like I did the Vietnam War, which we didn't learn that in class. So yeah, that's it.
My personal experience includes trying to cram everything as much as possible the week of and morning of papers. Side effects include loss of sleep, loss of hope, some insanity, less free time, but even with these side effects, you will gain knowledge of how terrible humans were and still are, and the valuable lessons we can learn from history. My advice to y'all watching this includes, be responsible please, and manage your time wisely. If you stay on task and focus on what Ms. Nugent tells you, you will have no problem with dealing with the side effects of history class.
Okay, what should you expect? Well, you should expect a couple things. One, when you eventually get to those papers that you've been preparing for 2 years, your wrist is going to hurt. It's going to hurt a lot. You're going to be in pain. Just keep writing, don't worry about it, alright? You should also expect at maybe the 1.5-hour mark, maybe closing in on the 2 hours for the paper 3, you're gonna look down at your paper and you're gonna say, what is this? What have I been writing? And then you're gonna ask yourself, why am I here? So you should prepare yourself by having the strength to say, I don't know, and then just keep writing anyway. For the class, well, you're gonna have to prepare for some group discussions, and you're gonna have to talk or else you're not gonna get credit, so keep that in mind. That's pretty much it, you're good.